Alex Kidd? Are you kidding me? I cannot believe of all the classic gaming IPs that Sega has in their library, they decided to go with, let's do a reboot of Alex Kidd. All right, man. All right. Let's check out this trailer and let me give you some of my thoughts because, man, I remember playing this game from ages ago and I can tell you, I'm on the fence of whether or not an update is needed. So let's see if they change my mind here. All right, and away we go. I do love the graphics, actually. It's very well done. Simple, but colorful. I remember that motorcycle. All right, so new levels. That's cool. I actually was wondering if they're going to add a lot more in. I mean, it looks great, although something about the visuals feel a little washed out. It almost feels like there's a slight haze, like almost sort of like a matte finish on top of it. My sense is this is actually a very early rendition of the game, given what we see here in terms of the footage. But it does look like it captures the spirit of the game really, really well. So here's the thing, right? For a game like this to do well today, I don't think you could just take all the classic levels and just tweak them a bit. And in fact, I'm not even really all that interested in having a lot more new levels. What I want to see is a complete remake that is updated with a number of new mechanics and flavors of gameplay that has, well, come into the platform gaming world since this game originally came out, which was, well, shoot, probably 30 some years ago at this point. The games have gotten a lot better. And I think if you were to go back and just take that game, Alex Kidd, and updated the visuals, it's not going to be enough for me. And also, what I mean by like adding new gameplay features, it's not like collecting more coins or time attack mode. I mean, adding more elements to the game that really test your abilities as a gamer. The thing this is about Alex Kidd was that, to me, Super Mario Brothers, the original game, completely changed the landscape of platform gaming. Like Shigeru Miyamoto, utter genius when it came to designing games. And here's the difference, right? When I play a game like Alex Kidd, I distinctly remember just going from like one level to the next. It's a very systematic progression of moving forward. Each level introducing some cool new concept, but they never really test your abilities with that new mechanic. And that was something that SMB did amazingly well. And in fact, when I talk about game design with a lot of people who are thinking about breaking into the game industry, I always tell them to go back and play that original Mario Brothers games because it was so simple. Literally had two buttons, right? By adding different combination of things, you could slide a little bit, you could get a power up with a fireball. And as you're introduced to each new mechanic, as you're going through each new world, you have to use that ability in a new way, unlike the way you used it before. So thus, it requires you to master that ability in order to be able to progress. For instance, just to be able to jump long distances versus short distances and be able to slide under things when you're bigger in size versus when you're smaller in size. It requires you to, finagle the controls in a way for you to be able to do it again and again till you get it right. And I never got that sensation with Alex Kidd. I think a lot of gamers would probably agree, especially the ones who played this classic game. It was a fun romp, but it was nowhere near the level of design brilliance or require the kind of mastery that was needed in order to really enjoy a game like Super Mario Brothers. My hope is that when they take this game and they update it, it's not just new visuals. And I say this as someone who used to work at Hudson Entertainment when we're thinking of bringing back the Bonk game. If you guys remember that was the big mascot for the TurboGrafx system. And for us, it wasn't just about remastering these old classic games and putting them out there. We actually worked on a brand new game with a couple of new mechanics that stayed true to, how you would play a Bonk game, which is, bonking things with your gigantic noggin. I had to introduce new kind of levels and mechanics in a way that took advantage of the fact that we have so much more depth and knowledge of game design now, and how do you implement them in a way that feels fresh in today's generation. This is what is an opportunity here for Sega and this company here that is making this game. I mean, look, it's very early on, so I'm going to give them some room to figure it out. But from what I'm seeing so far, it looks like it's just a straightforward port with a couple of enhancements. And otherwise, they would be touting this all-new experience for Alex Kidd. That being said, I think it also speaks to the fact that, Sega recognizes that they really can't put a big budget behind a game like this because not many people are going to remember it from back in the day. It was honestly a very generic platformer and a very generic character with a couple of fun, interesting elements to it, but I'm sure, and I think if anything, probably the Sega fanboys who remember this the most, who are probably feeling nostalgic and want to jump back into this world and play it. But otherwise, I don't think they're going to pick up a lot more new fans. So let's see what this game's about. But if you're dying for a retro feeling platformer with some updated mechanics and beautiful visuals for today, I mean, I could easily recommend a couple of great games beyond the new Mario games. And that is like Guacamelee, Rogue Legacy, and even the little genie Shantae. Brilliant, brilliant games when it comes to platforming and just lots of new cool mechanics that didn't exist, I think, in a lot of the previous games. All right, y'all. Let me know what you think. And if there's other Alex Kidd fans out there, I feel like I'm going to end up picking this up just because I'm a sucker for nostalgia. And I just remember, playing this game back in high school and the memories of it.